share a bit with us how is the process of transitioning from postdoc to independent researcher in Chile?
All right.
How does it work then?
Yeah, it's a hard transition actually. Normally you have to apply for a young grant or new investigator grant. It's kind of similar for this position between postdoctoral to an independent researcher. In that transition, you have to wait in 1 year at least, because you have to apply one time per year, and at the end of the year, you have the result for starting your new grant. So in that period, it's stressful. Yes, it's not similar to state, because I know that in state you can apply it 2 or 3 times per year for the same grant. In Chile, it's only one shot. So it's stressful in that period. But
so you apply for this grant, the new investigator grant, while you are in the postdoc, is that, or when you finish?
You have to finish if you got the grant. You have to finish at that moment that you have to start. Okay. So you can apply between your last year, but if you don't finish at time, you lose your grant if you win.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you get this grant, or when you are applying for this grant? Because I understand that this grant is very essential then if you want to become independent.
It's essential.
And when you apply, you need to have already a commitment with a specific university. So the university has to say in this application that I'm going to accept you if you get the grant and you are going to get a professorship position.
Exactly.
Or not. There's no formal commitment, and you have to go and try to find your own place in Chile.
Yeah, in Chile it's work like you described. So normally the university have to support, to advise for the Chilean government. So you need an institution for apply any grants. After you got the grant, you can move even for that university if you have better conditions in other university. But normally the people stay in the same institution that you want, and you apply for the grant. So.
And in Chile, usually people apply for this grant in the same university where they were in their postdoc, or they try to negotiate before to see if they can have other options of university.
Supporting the application. Yeah, that is a reality in Chile. So at the end of your postdoc, you are trying to look at what is your best opportunity for growth in your career. So not every time you have the same opportunity in the same institution that you did your postdoc. So you starting to look at in another institution, seeing if there's other opportunity or better chance to improve, to get more students, to get a more salary or more space in your lab, anything. You can negotiate that. So, but at that moment, at the end of the postdoc, normally you're trying to look at what institutions are able for receive to you.
And how is the professorship? Is it connected to this grant too? So if you want to be professor, because I don't know if in Chile to be researcher if you need to be professor or not. And if it's the case, is this a different application, or it's kind of connected to this grant? If you get the grant, usually you get a professorship associated with that?
Yeah, if you get well, first in Chile you have a career for a professor or teach, you know. In the University of Chile, if you want to do research, you must to teach. It's a mandatory for every institution, normally universities. So when you got a position or you got a grant, the university negotiates with you how many hours you're gonna teach per week, per year, for undergraduate student or PhD student. So normally it's almost a rule, you know. But at that time of that hour that you teach, you can reduce along the year if you have more PhD student in your own lab, or if you get a different thesis for undergraduate or graduated students. So that is more flexible, but you must to teach. It's a rule. Sorry, sorry about that.
Usually negotiable too, like the amount of hours that is negotiable. Like for example, if you get a grant, you have the power to go and say, I want to teach less this year, or it's not that flexible.
It's not that flexible. Yeah, actually, you have because when you got the grant, university told you, okay, this is the condition. You wanna pass for assistant professor. After that, maybe a middle one, and after that, a full professor. When you begin, when you start your own laboratory, you normally start with as an assistant professor. And that moment, that position involved around 8 hours per week for teach to undergraduate students. It's kind of. For PhD students, maybe you can add a less, you have less teach, but in any case, you have to teach at least 8 hours per week. This is significant time.
The whole work that you have outside of the class.
Exactly, yeah. And you need to lead your own laboratory. Yeah, that is a system that we have in Chile.
And how was for you? It was easy for you to get this grant? Like you were doing your postdoc and then it was easy for you to get this grant and then to start your lab? Which stage you are?
Well, I would like to start with how was my postdoctoral application first, if you want. Because in Chile, maybe it's different from here. You have to apply as a new grant. So you go to competition for get a grant for postdoctoral. It's not similar here or in the States or in Europe that you have a PI that can pay you for a postdoctoral. No, there you have to apply.
Scholarship, a fellowship.
Exactly. That was I got lucky. I got my postdoctoral fellow at the first time, and after that, when I tried to apply for a regular grant or a new investigative grant, that is the step. I mess up because that was my experience. Sorry, because it's in the Chilean government you have some rules. So one of the rules is that in your application you can citate your own in the background. Yeah. So and you can mention your name or your collaborate or where you are.
Completely anonymous.
Anonymous.
You cannot
In
say
your
anything.
own application, you can cite yourself.
Yeah.
It's not easy because not many people working in the field in Chile. So even if it's not my name there, the people that will review will know that I am the person that is applying. And that moment, I put my my initials in the name of the field. In the PDF field, PDF file, I put my initial names, and for that reason, I go outside for the review.
You were
So,
rejected in the first
exactly.
year, so you lost 1 year basically
1 year.
because of that.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the next year I apply, I got the grant. Sorry.
And you got and you stayed in the same university
Yes.
where you were in your postdoc,
Yes.
so you were able to stay there.
In that period, the university support me and they give me an internal funding.
Okay, so they gave you a startup.
Yeah.
We call a startup that is like a fund that you can
Exactly.
use to start your own lab.
Yes.
Okay.
They support me for.
They gave you space too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They gave me a space.
Lab space.
Yes, less, but was very useful because in that period I recruited some undergraduate students for start my own research. So that period was complicated, but was handled.
And your lab there is still connected to your former supervisor, or you were able to develop a completely independent line of research?
That is a personal decision in Chile. Yeah? It's not a rule. In my case, I have a good relationship with my old mentor, my PhD mentor, and postdoctoral mentor. Actually, we are friends with my postdoctoral mentor. So, but that's been of the person, I think.
Okay.
But I have a very good relationship, personal relationship first. But even more, we have a collaborate. So we still collaborate in different steps in the project and different field also. But we are still in a good collaborating field.
And Patricia, did you have a mentor guiding you throughout this process? Do you have a mentor that was kind of telling you, giving recommendations or giving you advice on the best way or the easiest way to do this transition? Or you were kind of on your own, maybe with the help of your supervisor here and there? Like, did you have some mentor that was it?
I think that in this transition for the postdoctoral to independent research is very important. Your mentor in the postdoctoral supervisor. He was Christian Amador, and right now is my friend, and he gave me some advice. He helped me actually forget that position in the institution. We we have several discussions about the project for the grant. So he supported me a lot for get the position, and after that, he still support me for more than support. Is more a collaborate. You know, it's more going back, and it's a very advice. Yeah. But that period, I think, is very good. Was a very good mentor in that sense.
So do you think this is essential for like any other trainee in Chile that wants to do this transition to have a mentorship? Do you think it's essential for them to have, like, it's gonna be very helpful, and in which specific aspects do you think it's gonna be very important if they can have a mentorship?
You can go for your own. You can apply in Chile for your own to the project, for this transition project. But I think it's very useful especially for some tips for get the grant, for maybe to recommend you to the same institution that you did your postdoctoral. That I think is more easy because the people know you. No?
So it's easier if the mentor is from the same institution too, because they can advocate for you to
of course.
Help
Yes.
you to get.
Yes, it's more easy. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Patricia.
No, you're welcome.
It's very interesting to know the perspective from Chile.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Very much.